So my name is Susan McCarthy, the chair of the Nantucket Zoning Board of Appeals. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Lisa Botticelli?
Here.
Ed Tool's not here. Michael O'Mara?
Hello.
Kerim Kosayatak?
Here.
Jeff Thayer?
Yes, here.
Mark Poor?
Here.
And Jim Mondani?
Here.
And staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Eleanor Antonietti?
Here, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, is Ed, no sign of Ed?
I talked to him this morning and he is gonna, he's not gonna come, he'll be absent today, this month and next month,
Okay,
but we'll see him in November.
okay, thank you.
So anticipated speakers on the agenda, please respond in the affirmative. And as we say each month, some of the people may not be logged in right now, and some people, so they may log on later, and there may be others who log on who are not on this list. So Brian Swain for Abram Quarry, 5 Kinnicknick Lane.
Here.
Kerry Tilton, owner applicant for 5 Kinnicknick Lane.
Yep, I'm here.
Sarah Elger, attorney for application numbers 09-20 and 19-20.
I'm here.
John Brescher, attorney for application number 18-20.
Present.
Mike Connolly, surveyor for application number 18-20. I see him on there. And Timothy Savarino, owner applicant for 6 and 8 Trotters. So good afternoon. This open meeting for the Nantucket Zoning Board of Appeals is being conducted remotely consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Nantucket Zoning Board of Appeals is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. For Zoom meetings, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Please be sure to properly leave the meeting when your matter has been discussed or upon final adjournment. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I say otherwise. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I, the chair, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, question, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate meeting minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. We've sort of strayed from that rule, and I'm okay with that as long as it stays orderly, but if we're getting like talking over each other, then we'll try to go back to these rules. For the items with public comment, after members have spoken, I will afford public comment as follows. Staff will activate the chat feature on YouTube, and members of the public who have comments or questions can use this feature to communicate with the public body. Instructions are on the town's website. The chair and/or staff, we will do our best to address the comments and questions. And as we've been doing, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call. So that is that. So would someone like to make a motion to approve the agenda as drafted? I don't think it was amended. Was it amended? No.
I will make that motion, Madam Chair.
Okay, would someone second it?
Second.
Okay, so the motion has been made and seconded. I'm just going to go down the list for those in favor. Myself, aye. Lisa Botticelli,
Aye.
Michael O'Mara,
Aye.
Kerim Kosatek,
Aye.
and Jeff Thayer. I saw
Jeff
you.
is moved.
Yeah, I saw you, but I didn't hear you, Jeff. Jeff, will you just say aye again, unmuted? Let me see if I can unmute you.
He's still muted.
Yeah, Jeff, can you try it? Let me see.
I can hear him trying to unmute, but
I know.
I don't have the ability to unmute him from.
I don't either this time.
All right. I don't
There
know
you-
what happened.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go. There it is.
No, we just need an aye on the
Agenda.
Aye.
Technology.
So the meeting minutes for August 13th, I've had a comment on, did anyone have any other, I had a comment on the one, what was it? 15-20, the 31 and 33 North Pasture Lane. On page 3 of 5 of the minutes, right before we voted, there's a comment, there's my comment summing up, but the first sentence says, there is a sauna and a spa on the plan, doesn't know which is being discussed. It's not that I didn't know which was being discussed, it was that the applicant was flip-flopping back and forth talking about a sauna and a spa, so it wasn't clear to me, and I think also to the applicant, which one we were talking about. So perhaps we could, sorry, someone just walked in my office. Perhaps we could revise that to say, like, there's a sauna and a spa on the plan. It is unclear which one or what's being done to the sauna and spa. Eleanor, is that all right?
Yes, I mean, these are Kerry's minutes and I didn't take issue with that when I went to do a sweep of them. But because
Yeah,
I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant, so I sort of didn't parse it out. But yeah, that's, if you want to clarify it, that's
I
fine.
think if they appeal, which they might, it just doesn't, that doesn't really, I know you, like, if you were there, you would know what I meant, but if you're looking at it later, I don't think, it just seemed like it kept getting flip-flopped back and forth in the discussion about whether, and the words were being used interchangeably, so.
Well, also, I think at one point I remember Michael saying, are we talking, when we were talking about the sauna going below grade as they proposed to mitigate the ground cover overage, Michael made the point, is it a spa or is it a sauna? Because
Right.
finished sauna space below ground would be very difficult access-wise, whereas a spa. So it was sort of in that context, but I understand what you're looking to do.
Yeah, okay, cool. That was my only comment or tweak on the minutes. I didn't know, did anybody else have a chance to read them or have any other comments?
I'm going to abstain since I wasn't there.
So we should probably hold those for Terry to incorporate your clarification, and we can, if you'd like to table them, motion to table next month.
Okay, so let's have a motion. Would someone make a motion to table those till the September, I don't know the date, but I'm sorry, October meeting,
October 15th.
October 15th meeting. Anyone?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Would someone second?
Second.
Okay, so again, I'm just going to go right down the list here. Motion to table the minutes from August 13th until the October 15th meeting. Susan McCarthy, aye. Lisa Botticelli,
Aye.
Michael O'Meara,
Aye.
Kerim Koseatak.
Aye.
Lisa's supposed to abstain. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Right?
sorry, Lisa. I'm sorry.
I figured since we're continuing them over, it didn't matter. Sorry.
No, I don't know. Since you're abstaining from motion altogether, I think maybe better just.
Okay, that's fine.
Thanks.
All right, sorry. So we'll scrap Lisa. So myself, aye. Michael was an aye. Kerim, did you answer yet?
I said aye.
Okay. Jeff Thayer. Jeff, I think you're muted again. All right, I'm going to move over. I'm going to skip over Jeff. I'm going to do Mark Poor
Aye.
and Jim O'Dani.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so moving on to old business. Our first one is 066-00, Frederick C. Tilton and Kerry E. Tilton, 5 Kinnickinnick Way, Brian Swain presenting.
Good afternoon. For the record, Brian Swain, attorney for the applicants Kerry and Fred Tilton. They're the owners of 5 Kinnickinnick Way. And this application, very similar to the one last month, is an application for a request for determination that the applicant's relocation of their driveway is an insubstantial modification to the Abram Corey 40B comprehensive permit in his plans. Specifically, the Tiltons are requesting to move their existing side-by-side 2-car parking spaces, which are located at the end of Kinnickinnick Way, and relocate them so that the curb cut access is on Field Avenue. And as you may remember from the previous application, Kinnickinnick Way is not a traditionally laid out roadway, but rather it's a 16-foot wide access easement where the owners of Kinnickinnick Way have rights to travel across it and over it. The actual traveled portion of Kinnickinnick is very narrow, and like any other dense neighborhood where there's a small roadway, residents and abutters or their guests, they park in the roadway. And frequently the Tiltons get blocked in by overnight guests or delivery trucks, and they haven't been able to leave. So, they need to be able to freely access their property. Relocating their driveway from Kinnickinnick Way to Field Avenue will also reduce the traffic on Kinnickinnick Way by a 6. The board's role in this is to make a determination pursuant to 760 CMR 56.0511A and B, whether or not this request is a proposed, is a substantial modification or an insubstantial modification. And what that CMR generally says is that substantial modifications are defined as increases to a project that are in excess of 10%. And that's the whole project. Insubstantial modifications are changes that are ministerial in nature, like this one, that affect the number of bedrooms, building materials, financing programs, changes to the structure that are less than 10%. So we're asking that the board make a determination that relocating the driveway from Kinnickinnick Way to Field Avenue is an insubstantial modification to the comprehensive permits and the plans associated therewith. And I'm here to answer any further questions. And Ms. Tilton is on Zoom as well, so she'd be able to answer any questions that I can.
Okay, thank you, Brian. So I'm just trying to, from last month, we don't, although we did talk about the location of the driveway, our role is to simply determine whether it's substantial or insubstantial. And then the next step for you is to go to your HOA under section 8.8 to get the waiver that you need.
Correct. It's a two-step process. First is for you to make the determination that it's an insubstantial modification. And then the HOA can modify the declarations of restrictions and easements to waive the restriction that says you can't have a 2-car driveway access on a property. The declaration of restriction says that it can only be 12 feet wide. So the waiver that would come from the HOA would permit the 2x2 parking spaces, which currently exist on the property as it's cited now.
Okay, and the other question I have is, it seems in the packet from the as-built that we have that this may be, the proposed parking may be directly across from another driveway on Field Ave, which is also number 29 of the restriction, or sorry, 28. 29 is the 12 feet. 28 in the comprehensive permit. So that, if that's the case, that also will need to be addressed with your HOA.
Correct.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
The untitled map on page 107, I think, of the packet. Hold on.
Is it this one?
The aerial? Yeah. So it looks like there's a driveway already where you're proposing to put this driveway. Is that correct? Or maybe I have the house wrong.
Nope.
Can you pull that up, Eleanor?
It's I think it's going right here, or actually right here, I think.
It's not this building right here?
No, that's the one on the corner, I think.
If you look at the larger map, so to me, it looks like this one. Well, you can't see what I'm doing.
Can you see on the screen, I have this aerial. Can you see it?
Yeah, can you point to the house, Eleanor?
Do you see where my mouse is?
Yeah.
This.
So the driveway is going to go right where that tree is at the corner there of the house, right? Like,
Right, kind of here.
yeah. Is that right, Brian?
So
That's
this,
correct.
see this cutout here? Like, so here's the cars parked, it's shaded, but there's cars parked here. And then this kind of cutout lawn, that's kind of where it's going, except down, obviously, abutting.
Okay, so why on page 26 is there another map that says move over to this side, 2 spaces too deep?
I think they had given 3 options of things that they were interested in
But
doing.
this is a totally
I can
different
answer that one. So those were exhibits that we submitted with the application that the board had done in previous years in approved driveway locations. So those particular maps that you were referring to were applications that were approved, I think, in 2009 or 10.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I was getting very confused by all that. Wasn't sure what I was looking at. So that all like 26, 27, 28, 29, all those pages are not at all part of this application.
No.
29 is.
29 is.
Yes, 29 is, page 29 is
Yeah.
the existing as-built for the locus.
And then where is the proposed?
And that is
Uh,
here,
Oh,
right here. You see it?
page 20.
Yeah.
So you can see how it's kind of flush with, or more or less flush with the sort of dog leg of the existing driveway.
Yep. Okay, now I think I'm getting, now I'm understanding this. Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, so it looks like it at least partly will maybe overlap with the driveway across the way, but not the whole thing. So I think that's for the HOA to address. I see this as similar as the one we had last month, that it's insubstantial.
I'm in agreement. Now that I
I would
understand.
agree with that also.
Okay. Does anyone else, Jim, you have a question?
I'm in agreement. It's insubstantial. I'm always confused about this interplay between the restrictive covenants and what we're supposed to approve.
It's really about the site plan, Jim. I remember I pointed that out last month. It's just when you approve a comp permit, and this was approved through litigation many, many years ago, but the site plan, if people are going to rely upon a site plan, this is a change to that site plan. So basically, as Brian explained, it's a belt and suspenders thing. So this is sort of step one, and then they go to the HOA and then the HDC.
I know they go to the HOA and under their rights under that 8.8 of the restrictions, they're going to waive this with respect to just this lot. They're not going to revise the restrictions to allow less than 12 feet for the whole.
Correct, Jim. What they'll do is they'll get a recordable waiver that specifies the plot, the lot number, the plot plan, and that would get recorded on their title just specifically to that lot, not a blanket waiver to anyone else. Anyone in addition seeking to get a relocation would have to come through this process as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
Eleanor, are we doing public comment for this one?
It is not a public hearing.
What?
It is not technically a public hearing.
Okay, so we don't need to, and I didn't see any like mail, and so would someone like to make a motion on this application?
Just to clarify, the motion again is to confirm that this is insubstantial and to authorize Susan to sign a memo memorializing the decision.
So would someone like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Kerim. Okay, so motion has been made and seconded. I will go down the line then. Susan McCarthy, aye. Lisa Botticelli,
Aye.
Michael O'Mara,
Aye.
Kerim Kosayatak,
Aye.
and Mark Poor.
Aye.
Great,
Thank you all.
thank you. So our next application is 09-20, Timothy E. Quinslick and Elizabeth A. Quinlisk. Sorry, I'm totally butchering that. 88 Quidnet Road, Sarah Alger representing.
Thank you, Susan. Sarah Alger representing Timothy and Elizabeth Quinlisk. This property is obviously at 88 Quidnet Road. It is a pre-existing non-conforming lot with a pre-existing non-conforming structure. The dwelling currently has a side yard setback on the north of about 4.07 feet at its closest point, and a side yard setback on the east of about 4.83 feet. Where in this R20 zone, a 10-foot setback is required. The dwelling otherwise conforms to the provisions of the bylaw. The lot itself is a pre-existing non-conforming lot of record. It has about 7,858 square feet of area where 20,000 is required, and frontage of about 66 feet where minimum required frontage is 75 feet. There is a non-conforming shed that's about 3 point something feet from the side yard that is being removed and eliminated as part of this. We have a new revised proposed conditions plan as a result of the HDC's approval of the structure. That shows that as proposed, the structure will be about 5.1 feet from its southerly boundary and about 5.8 feet from its northerly boundary. We went back and forth quite a bit at the HDC and made a lot of changes. And I think you have in your packet what resulted. What we've tried to do is take this existing cottage and take off of it the more recent additions and then add on to it in a way that's sensitive to the old cottage and retains as much of that form as we can. As I said, the plans have been approved by the HDC. As proposed, we will have ground cover of close to 1,500 square feet, and otherwise we'll conform with the bylaw except for those setback situations. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. We're very constrained here, by the way, as a result of wetland issues. So we're kind of stuck with the house where it is shown on that proposed conditions plan.
Eleanor, what page is the proposed conditions plan that Sarah referenced?
I put it up on the screen. Do you not see it?
No, but I want to look at it. Oh, because I don't have it.
It came this morning, so I couldn't, as I said in the staff report, it was going to have to be shared. So here it is. So do you need me to zoom in? Let me zoom in. Hold on.
I just want to change the numbers on, because the one,
This is dated today,
okay.
as you can see right here.
So that changes, that's the changes from the one that was.
It's just the porch bump out. I believe the HDC required them to change some gable or something. It's the staff report has the new HDC plans, and if you look at the elevations, there's I guess the HDC had a request. So this porch bump out here is different from what was shown on, I think, page 119.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
But it's no closer. It's 5.5. The porch and deck are 5.5 feet, not as close as the basement access.
Yeah, 5.
Right, which was 5.2.
Right, and then it moves to 5.8 from 5.6 and 5.5.
And I'm assuming the porch is unenclosed, so we're not dealing with vertical massing, right?
Right.
Okay. Open the changes to the SASA. Okay. Does anyone on the board have any questions for Sarah with this one? No. Okay. I liked the HDC's comments in the back of, I don't know if it was in the staff report or whatever, where I think it was in the staff report where they said it's very cute on the inside. So does anyone have any comments for Sarah?
I don't have any issue with it. Now that it's through HTC, I would be in favor of the application.
Which our first application, oh, sorry, I missed one. In old business 11-20, Peter J. McKay and Allison McKay and David P. McKay and Ann M. Faniff, trustee of the McKay Faniff Family Trust, 21 and 25 Monahans Road. That also is Sarah Elger, and they have requested to continue to December 10th, 2020. Would someone make the motion to allow, and do we need to extend their action deadline?
We're all set on that. Sarah and I handled it.
Okay, great. So then would someone make the motion to request to continue to December 10th, 2020?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, so Lisa made the motion. Would someone second that?
Second.
Okay, Michael seconds. Okay, so sitting on this one is myself, Lisa, Ed is not here, Mark and Kerim. Jim, will you vote on this one? You've been at the table. Yeah, okay, all right. So So myself, I, Lisa,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Kerim,
Aye.
and Jim.
Aye.
Okay, so that one is continued. Moving on to new business, we have application 18-20, Catherine H. Cozens and Timothy M. Sabrino, 6 and 8 Trotters Lane. John Brescher is representing.
Good afternoon. For the owners and applicants, attorney Catherine H. Cozen and Timothy M. Sabrino, I'm attorney John Brescher. So what we have before you today is sort of an interesting application. Before that, I should say that we also have Timothy Sabrino and Michael Connolly on the call to answer any questions as may be necessary. But I'm just going to go through and give an overview of the application. If you have any questions about the details, they may be able to help fill those in. So as I said, we're representing Catherine H. Cozens, the owner of 6 Trotters Lane, and Timothy Savarino, the owner of 8 Trotters Lane. And effectively, we're looking for an interior lot line shift. And so as such, we're requesting variance relief pursuant to Nantucket zoning bylaw section 139.32 from the intensity regulations for 139.16, and to the extent necessary, any special permit relief that may be able to be granted. I'll sort of go into the 2 of those in a minute, but here's the background. 6 Trotters Lane, owned by Ms. Cozens, is non-conforming with respect to 3,733 square feet in R10. So it's an undersized lot. It has only 41 feet of frontage that requires 75 feet. Its abutting property is 8 Trotters Lane, owned by Mr. Savarino. This lot is non-conforming as well, containing approximately 9,209 square feet in a district that requires a minimum lot size of 10,000 and has, let's see, what do they have? I think this one actually meets the frontage, but it may be non-conforming as with respect to frontage as well. But the plan will show. I'm sorry, this one is conforming with frontage. So the two properties are next to each other, and as I said, Mr. Savarino and Ms. Cozens are married, and they're desirous of switching the interior lot line. And as they say, sort of a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so as the site plans prepared by Mr. Connolly, I would focus you to the sort of the existing, the one attached as the existing conditions plan of land, showing how 8 Trotters has pre-existing non-conforming structures and non-conforming respect to frontage with respect to lot size. And it also shows 6 Trotters sort of to the west, being non-conforming with respect to frontage and to lot size. The plan is to then shift this interior lot line so that the existing garage that is currently on 8 Trotters Lane gets moved to 6, will now be on the property for 6 Trotters Lane. So the property, as a result of this is where it's, this is sort of the really interesting part in all of this. As a result of which, the 2 lots will be the same size. We're effectively swapping the lot area of 6 Trotters for 8 Trotters. And so now 6 Trotters would have 9,209 square feet, and 8 Trotters would have 3,733 square feet. So it's then net in that. It's nothing is changing with respect to lot areas. They're being swapped from one non-conforming lot to another. However, the frontage would arguably be improved because 8 Trotters Lane will now have 50 feet of frontage, whereas 6 used to have 41, and 6 Trotters Lane will have 75 feet of frontage, which conforms to the R10 intensity regulations. So the end result, if we can look at that for a minute, really is that we're lessening a nonconformity, in as much as we had 2 pre-existing non-conforming lots, non-conforming with respect to lot size and frontage. The 2 lot sizes are just being swapped, so there's no change there. Then the other is that there is a frontage issue. Both are non-conforming with respect to frontage. The non-conformity as a result will be lessened where it was 41 feet in the district that required 75 feet, and now it will be 50 feet. So that is the end result. In order to get there, we're requesting variance relief, simply because I'm not entirely sure that special permit relief is available for 8 Trotters Lane, meaning that is the larger one, which will be going to a smaller one. I'm not, if it were a structure, I think that it could be done in terms of altering a pre-existing non-conforming structure and making it arguably more non-conforming. In this instance, it's the lot. It's the lot itself, and it's the numbers of the lot. The structures aren't changing. It's a lot, and I'm not sure that falls under the strict reading of 139.33. As such, I think the only mechanism to get there is variance relief under 139.32, saying that due to the unique circumstances of the shape, soil conditions, topography of the lot, especially the circumstances, in as much as that we are effectively curing one, or not curing, but lessening one nonconformity, variance relief would be appropriate. I don't believe that 6 Trotters Lane needs any special permit relief at all. I say that because pursuant to 139.33 A3, a pre-existing non-conforming lot can be increased in frontage and in lot area without relief from the board. Granted, those are typically sort of yard sale situations, but this would fit the bill. So as I said, what we have is variance relief for effectively switching the interior lot lines. The other purpose of this is that the Savarinos are going to be conveying 6 Trotters Lane to their children and want them to have the benefit of the garage. So I am happy to answer any questions that you may have. As I said, Mr. Savarino is on the call as well, as is Michael Connolly, who may be able to answer any questions you have about as it relates to the plan or sort of the dynamics of this.
Madam Chair, I have to interrupt. I'm sorry, but my husband has just been notified he's going to the ER right now, so I have to go. But Holly Backus has kindly offered to sit in for me, so if you need a share screen or anything, she's very, very good at that.
Good luck, Eleanor. Boy, you both
Be well.
Visiting the hospital this week.
I know, spending too much time there. So Holly is me now. She's going to come sit here, and she's terrific. So anything you need, she can handle. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Good luck.
Do we wait for Holly to sit?
John, I just have a question about the process. Why did you create another lot? And that I know it's going to merge.
I think that, but I don't know that we are creating another lot. I think at the end of the day, I mean, if this is to go through, the third site plan, I would not include the third site plan for anything. What should happen the purpose of the third site plan, I believe, is to simply show that is the area that's being swapped. I don't think it's necessary. I think that it would just be, I think that it would just be conveying the lot line of going from the first proposed condition, the existing conditions to the proposed conditions. The third site plan shows sort of the lot area that's being swapped. That's all that is.
The lot 1 is basically the area being swapped.
That is exactly correct.
I got it. That was confusing why there was that other site plan, but now
So
is 168 the ultimate result of what you're looking for, John? Page 168.
Page
169, Mark.
And I apologize, but I don't see your packet. But does this plan say proposed conditions plan of land?
Yes,
that is correct.
169, and it shows 2 lots that are. Lot 1 is now the 9,209, and lot 2 is 3,733.
Perfect. That is exactly correct. That is the end result.
And what is the disposition of the building that straddles the lot line?
That is a shed that will be removed or relocated, but it has to go away from there. So
when it's conveyed, will it have You refer to it as lot one, the newly created lot. So you create the lot, convey it, and then it'll merge by operational law. So I'm just concerned that lot one hangs out there, that piece.
Sure, that's the interesting part is that lot one would have effectively no, it's sort of the mechanics of it would have no sort of buildable status. I mean, if it is shown on a plan, it is shown as the lot to be disposed of. I mean, it is an interesting. As I said, the end result seems logical. It's been a real interesting experience thinking about how we get from point A to point B and all the different mechanisms that need to happen, including going to the planning board for these potential A&R plans and what these types of conveyances would look like.
Okay.
So,
Madam Chair,
yep, go ahead.
this is Tim Savarino. The reason for the intermediate plan was for the purposes of having something to convey to 6. That's the only reason. We're not trying to end up with 3 lots. The 3 plans were to show current conditions, as John represented, the piece that will be conveyed to 6, and then the ultimate goal that would be the plan that you referred to, the exact swap between 6 and 8.
What are you planning on? Like, I'm trying to, I agree with Jim. I don't like this, like that it could be hanging out there. So are you planning to convey it almost simultaneously, I guess, with the creation?
Yes,
And-
that is correct. Yes, that is correct.
Are you all teed up to do that?
We are. With one exception, I don't want to mislead you. We do need to go to the planning board. I don't know if we need that. And the other thing I would just like to say, and I do this with great reference, but my wife and we want to stay in 6 Trotters Lane. That's our house. I think John had mentioned that we were going to convey 6 to our son. It's actually number 8 Trotters Lane that we're trying to separate and convey to our son.
My apologies.
Okay.
Oh, no. I just wanted the record to be straight up on that.
Okay. And I guess my concern, so John, is there like a lender involved or anybody else
Yes.
that has left this?
Yeah, well, so as you said, it's an interesting exercise given the number of moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
So the Savarinos, I believe it's your son, correct, Tim?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So the Savarino's son is going to be, and his wife are going to be purchasing this property, and they are using Rockland Trust to do so. And so in theory, all of this is happening simultaneously in terms of conveyance from 6 to 8, and then 8 to the children.
So you're going to convey. So you're going to do 2, right? You're going to do an exempt transfer that goes
Yes.
from.
The exempt transfer would go
Put it into the
from
parent's name, and then the parents are going to sell to the son.
for real consideration.
Okay. I mean, so my only concern in asking that is that it doesn't get held up, but as long as, if it gets held up, it will already be transferred to 6, right?
Mhm.
Or am I saying it backwards? It'll already be transferred.
No, you got it right.
Okay, so it'll already be transferred to 6. So even if for some reason there's a gum up with Rockland, we're not going to have this third weird lot laying around.
No, that's exactly right.
Okay.
It really is just an interior lot line swap. That's all we're trying to accomplish.
It says it right on the plan too. New
Yeah.
lot lines to be.
Yeah.
So.
And then, so John, can you talk about what you were saying, that you weren't sure whether you needed a special permit for?
So I don't think that 6 needs a special permit for this because, again, 6 is pre-existing non-conforming. It's the lot with
That's the
let me
long
pull up
one.
my plan. Let me pull up my plan here. It's that lot has the 3,733 square feet and the 41 feet of frontage.
To start with.
Yeah, the original lot 6.
Yeah.
I don't know that it needs special permit relief because pursuant to 13933A3, any increase in area or frontage to a pre-existing non-conforming lot is allowed. In other words, that it does not need relief from the Board of Appeals. It's again, it happens due to again, it's 6 simply getting the land. Again, this typically happened, or historically, from my recollection, with a lot of yard sale parcels. That's when there was some sort of or a merger of sorts, and that made sense. This is certainly different because while 6 may not need relief, the only way to get the lot area and the frontage to 6 is by taking it away from 8. And that's where I think we really need the relief. You have to give the land before you can get it. And the acquisition, I don't believe needs any release. The disposition from 8 to 6, that's what we're, in my opinion, that's what we're really here for. If the board deems it appropriate to give special permit relief for 6 in order to increase the lot area and frontage for pre-existing non-conforming lot, that's certainly fine. I don't necessarily think that it is necessary though.
I tend to agree with you. How does anyone feel about the variance? Anyone want to speak on that? I'm trying to think if there are any, unintended consequences that I'm not.
It's just difficult to shoehorn this into the soil condition, shape, topography. I mean, we're creating that issue, and then the whole financial hardship piece of it. But I understand what's going on, and it makes sense to me. But
by creating this other lot or improving the other lot, we're not creating any, or please confirm, we're not creating any additional building opportunities on either one.
Creating any new building opportunities.
Could now, I guess we would restrict it, right? To say no further changes to the lot without coming back to the board. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want to give by making the 6 now into the 9,209 square feet. Are we giving it? It's still non-conforming, correct?
Yeah, I mean that's exactly right. I mean it still is no matter how we look at it.
Whatever rights we have as a family, we have those rights today. My wife and I own these properties already. We're really not looking to gain anything here.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that 8. So 8 is, I'm looking for that one. So I guess we're making it more non-conforming as to the lot area. And
8.
then,
Number 8.
Yep. And then are we also because of that, are we also increasing the non-conformity on the ground cover ratio?
Yeah. Do we have any information on that? Like what the ratio is on lot at number 6 currently versus number 8 currently, and then what the ratios will be alternatively once the swap takes place? I can't really read all these numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see here. I don't see it on.
Well, number 6, the dwelling looks like it's 778 square feet on the ground.
Which one?
Number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's,
Yep.
so that's about 20%, right? Did I do my math right?
Yeah, it says that for lot 2, which is 8, after the move, the ground cover, the total is going to be 24.3%, and I guess 25% is allowed.
Allowed, okay.
So it's still under ground cover.
Improve the ground cover.
That's good.
Yeah.
And that's on the proposed conditions. And John, it's conforming as to frontage still.
Yep. The new lot 1 will be conforming
No,
as
lot 2, 8.
8 will not be conforming anymore.
It will not be.
It'll go to 50, and then it needs to be 75 to be conforming.
Oh,
Right.
But alternatively,
okay.
it's better than the other lot. Number 6 currently only has 41. It's an
Right.
improvement. That's 91. I mean, would you ever, if that's an issue, 91, 75, 16, no, you could only get to 66.
If the line went straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, does it make sense to try to get number 8 a little bit more conforming?
Yeah, why didn't that line continue just straight down? Why does it jog over?
Because of the driveway and parking area for the garage.
Oh, okay.
It's a paved driveway with a parking area.
Okay.
Couldn't you do an easement though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think we could certainly comply with any wishes that you all had. Our thought was to keep the lot size of lot 2 when it's completed exactly as what 6 Trotters Lane currently has today. So our intent was to show it that there was no gain. It was simply an interior lot switch. That was our thinking.
Well, I think what we're thinking though is there a way to improve number 8 a little bit more, which you already have on frontage, but you know, that would, I guess we're just asking the question. Then you're actually improving the situation.
Yeah.
On one. I guess you're making the other one not as good though. So I don't know. It's sort of a chicken and the egg thing.
I mean, I get the logic of it's what exists. It's basically what exists now, just flipping it. So there's no, it's a zero net game. But yeah, would it be better to have, so if you got, right, because you don't have.
We can't solve the frontage issue because total there's only 141 square feet and we're gonna need 150. So one of the 2 lots, no matter what, will be non-conforming with respect to frontage. That's, as much as we can play around with the numbers, I think that's going to be one of the, that's definitely one of the limitations.
Does anyone else have any comment about or feeling about that lot line being moved to even out the, where's my calculator?
Madam Chair?
Yep.
Just one thought here. If we're looking for a reason to approve this.
Mhm.
Sounds like we are. That shed that currently portages the proposed property line,
Mhm.
which has a future of either, I think it says, being raised or moved.
Mhm.
If it was raised, it would be 150 or 8. I can't read the actual 156 maybe square
Yeah.
feet less on the property. So the one nonconformity would be getting improved.
Mhm.
Although they're allowed to go to 25% of 9,200 anyway.
Yep.
It's 2,300 square feet. So they've got plenty of ground coverage on that lot. So.
Just an idea, because it's going to have to get moved one way or the other.
Yeah.
I would think before the bank's going to loan any money on it.
Mhm.
Although since that is the only shed on that property, it could be exempt from ground cover.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, if it moved over.
Yeah.
They're both exempt, actually, right? They would both become exempt.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, in principle, I don't have any problem with this. I just want to make sure, to Jim's point, or to whoever said, how do we fit this into the box?
Mhm.
Well,
I mean, I think the shape is that it's, it's non-conforming. I don't think changing this it doesn't generally affect the zoning district in which it's located, because it's the same, besides the line changing.
right, the aggregate ground cover is the same.
Yep. And I can imagine it's a substantial hardship if you can't keep your garage that you want, right? And I don't think it's a substantial detriment to the public good. And I don't think it nullifies or substantially is in conflict with the intent or purpose of the bylaw. And we're not creating a new lot. We're not creating an opportunity where they have they're getting an opportunity that they didn't have before. I mean, besides whatever's going on with the lot. I don't know, anyone else? I don't think there was any mail on this one. Have you heard from any neighbors, John?
No.
Okay. And is there any public comment on this one? On the YouTube?
Madam Chair, I'm in here for Eleanor and there's no comments on this.
Okay. Do any board members have any concerns that they decide?
Madam Chair.
Yep.
Earlier conversation dealt with the shape of the new lot line between lots 1 and 2. I'd be more in favor of lot 2, if that lot line wasn't skewed as much into the lot, increase the area of lot 2. It was spoken of earlier. but it may create a nonconformity to the staircase to the garage. That would be the only reason why I could think it would be done, other than the net swap that John talked about.
What about, Mark, if you took it down in the other direction, so you changed the frontage,
Yes, I understand.
as opposed to going this way where it would
Yep.
create a nonconformity?
Well, that goes across the driveway, apparently.
Yeah, but they could do an easement to each other if they're going to stay in common ownership. I mean, essentially, right?
I imagine,
Or they could
because it's
do,
not in common ownership, they could do an easement.
right, or they could jog it. They could go up and then jog 10 feet off of this. But I think trying to improve the frontage wouldn't be a bad thing.
No,
So just so I'm clear, we're talking about improving the frontage of lot 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
just by taking this lines, well, you
Sure.
can't see my cursor, but
Yeah,
straight.
like this. Right?
Right, something like that.
Because then you'd have 6 would be conforming as to frontage, and 8 would be less non-conforming as to frontage.
And area, slightly
And
area. I mean, it's not a lot of area. Mike, do you know what that triangle, if you brought that line down, what that triangle would give you? In terms of area or more frontage?
He might be muted.
I don't have the ability today to unmute him.
How do you do that?
You have to be the host. Holly, do you have the ability to do that?
Yes, who am I supposed to unmute? Sorry.
Mike
Holly?
Connolly?
Let me see, where is he? Hold on, Mike. All right, I asked to unmute.
Ooh.
Yep. There you go.
All right, Mike, did you hear Lisa's question about what the area of that triangle would be? I don't have, let's see.
It's not. Mike, can you hear us? I can't tell if he's muted or not.
It says it's not, it says here he's not muted. I don't think we have, I don't see chat down here. Let's see, we can try to type it.
So if you don't mind me asking this question, I mean, I think it's reasonable we can certainly drop some different plans to try to improve the frontage issue. If we wind up sacrificing the lot areas, in other words, that it is not sort of the net, it is not the net swap that we were hoping for. Is that, without sort of putting the Board of Appeals on the spot, is that okay? I mean, are you okay with sort of us changing the respective lot areas in order to improve the frontage as best we can?
I feel, it seems like I feel comfortable with that. I think it seems that, I don't speak for Lisa and Mark, but it seems like they would be more comfortable with that.
Again, I don't know if it can be done. I mean, obviously, I think in a perfect world, we'd figure out a way to switch the lot line or adjust the lot line in such a way that the new lot 1 front, or excuse me, the new lot 2 frontage is improved and the same lot areas are kept. I mean, I think that would be an ideal situation. But I don't know how that would look on a plan, or if it can be done, but worth looking into.
Because you guys feel like reducing the lot area on lot 1 is not a good idea to improve lot 2.
I mean, I guess I think the bigger concern was sort of presenting this to the board in terms of presenting it to the Board of Appeals. To be honest, showing that this is a net that the lot, it really is just an interior lot swap, and so the lot areas will remain the same. So I don't know. So I don't know if that's not quite as attractive as a feature. It likely could be changed, but we were just trying to figure out what it would look like for frontage, and it's fine.
I don't know. I don't feel strongly about it. I see the total logic in just keeping the areas the same, and at least the frontage has been improved on lot 2. So I'll go with whatever the majority of the board thinks, but it's still figuring out a way to meet the variance standard, I guess.
I echo Lisa's sentiment. I think if you had, I appreciate the logic of keeping them the same, the swap. I think if it had come in with the 75 and 66 for frontage, I don't think I would have had a big issue about the lot area changing because of the improved frontage. But at the same time, I don't know that has to be that way. I mean, if you did improve it up to 50, and that's an improvement. I get with the driveway and everything why that makes sense I mean, you could do an easement, but I get it that's kind of.
Yeah, it's just messy in the future.
Yeah.
So how would we, well, I should see, how does everybody else feel about this, I guess?
I can go down the list. Michael, did we hear from you at all on this one?
Can you hear me? I'm ready to vote if somebody wants to make a motion. I one question: are we voting twice?
So the 8 is 8 for 8, John. You're only asking for a variance.
That's right. I mean, if there's a way to do it by special permit, I would much prefer that, but I don't think that there is, because I looked while we were on the call. I looked at 13933 again, and it's the alteration of structures and uses. And as much as I'd love to make that argument that a pre-existing non-conforming lot is a use, I don't know that even I buy that.
Okay.
So I think so. Yeah. So 8 is the only one we'd be looking for. Again, love to find, if there was a way to do it via special permit, that'd be great. But I don't think anyone wants to really make case law. And
then for 6, do you need us to determine? Did you ask for special permit? And we are.
I asked for special permit to the extent necessary. I don't think you do. Again, looking at the code right now. Pre-existing non-conforming lots may be increased in area or frontage through the addition of adjoining property without the need for any relief under this bylaw.
Okay, so I agree with you there. I don't think you need a special permit. Does anyone on the board feel that the addition of the land to 6 requires us to do a special permit? Okay.
Nope.
Great.
I agree.
Sorry. Jim, were you saying something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And so if you've asked to the extent necessary, I don't think we need to make a motion. We just can let it go. Right, John?
I think that's right. I mean, I don't think there, as I said, I mean, If the board felt that it was necessary, great, you have the power to do so, but I think the language of the code is fairly clear that no relief is necessary.
I was asking you as in your experience as former ZBA admin there, not as the representative. Okay, so is there anyone on the board who wants to make a motion for the variance?
And this will remain how it's portrayed here with lot 1, lot 2. We aren't changing those lot lines. Is that right? We decided against it.
I think that's where we are now, unless someone feels
otherwise
strongly that we should do that. I'm okay with it not being changed, but if someone felt strongly, then I think it wouldn't hurt to change it.
Madam Chair?
Yep.
It's actually an interesting point, because if this is blessed as it is and the lot lines stay where we show on the plan, if we adjust the plan after the fact so that hypothetically the lot areas stay the same and we just adjust the frontage, we wouldn't need any relief from the board either. So that may be something that we can revisit in the future and just do with a perimeter plan through the planning board, because one lot will be conforming with respect to frontage, and then the other would just be increasing its frontage, and it would go into the same section, 13933.
I like the idea of keeping the area of the lot 2 what the previous lot was, because I have a little concern here. I mean, the circumstances, I don't have an issue with this because of the circumstances, but John brought up case law. I worry that, I don't want this to open up the gates where you're able to make a lot more non-conforming by conveying to an adjoining property owner, somehow taking advantage of that. And that's my concern about this new non-conformity or greater non-conformity.
I think it keeps it clean.
In a vacuum, without these circumstances of it being the same thing. It's family, but I just worry that this is going to be used in some other context.
I agree with you, Jim. And actually, since you're saying that was one of the things when I read through this application, that I was thinking in my head, this is a way, having it be the exact same, just purely a lot line move with the same area staying the same, is a way for us to distinguish this from someone else who tries to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Okay. We're there. Okay. So again, we're back to, I guess, if no one has any more questions for John or Tim or Mike, is anyone willing to or ready to make a motion on this one for the request for variance relief?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Would someone second?
Second.
Okay, Michael seconds. Okay, so I'm just going to read through. So this is a motion to grant the variance relief as requested for 8 Trotters Lane. Myself, I. Lisa Botticelli.
Aye.
Michael O'Mara.
Aye.
Kerim Kosayatek.
Aye. Aye.
And Jim Undani.
Aye.
Okay, great.
Great. All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. The next application up is 19-20 Hale Everett's 46 Monomoy Road, and Sarah Elger is representing on this one.
Thank you, and Sarah Alger for the applicant, Hale Everett's. This property is in Monomoy at 46 Monomoy Road. It's a pre-existing non-conforming lot of record. It's in an LUG1 zoning district that requires 40,000 square feet of land area. This property only has 15,000 square feet. The existing dwelling is pre-existing non-conforming. It has ground cover of about 12.95% or 7% or 1,500 square feet is allowed. What is proposed here is to alter the pre-existing non-conforming dwelling by removing some of the ground cover, reconfiguring the dwelling. It's like little portions of it being removed and being reconfigured into a small cabana in the back. And then changes to the interior footprint. We're maintaining the one dwelling on the lot, which I know was a consideration back in the 80s when the existing relief was granted. And for the most part, in the garage area, we have kind of what I guess we would call back of house program, like a washroom, a laundry, that sort of thing. There's no change in the setbacks. The design has already been approved by the HDC. We've shown it to a lot of our neighbors and have received only positive feedback. I don't think you've received any negative feedback from any neighbors. We're not increasing the number of bedrooms in the house. There are currently 5 bedrooms, and we're maintaining that. And that's basically the proposal.
Madam Chair? Madam Chair?
Hello?
Excuse me, Sarah.
Yes.
That's all right.
Madam Chair, I just realized that my daughter is not on a butter, but she's probably on the butters list. So I'm going to sit this one out.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Sorry about that, Sarah.
That's all right. So I think we've shown you our HDC drawings with the pre and post dwelling from the exterior. We have tried to maintain all the unusual roof lines and the height of the structure. It's a fairly modest, I think, renovation redo of this old property, which had, you know, not really been updated in quite a while.
I just have one question, Sarah. It's unclear what's being demolished. I don't really like the open-ended statement of demolish whatever is any or all of this structure.
Oh, well, that's just a quote from the bylaw. If you look, we're not demolishing all, we're, if you look at the HDC approved plans, you can see the various small areas that are.
Yeah, I don't see a demolition plan, but I mean, I can make out. Is there a demolition plan?
I think there was. I don't know that it's there, but if you look at the HDC site plan, which is there, you can see there are small areas. Keep going down.
Well, I just want to be clear that.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I want to address this to Lisa. If you look at page 206, on the left-hand side of the drawing, you'll see an appendage, a one-story appendage being removed and a porch being added with a balcony in it. That looks to be mostly the extent of the demolition.
That's most of it.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to be clear because I think that the way that the request went in was very non-specific. And I just wanted to understand what the intention was.
Well, we just quoted the bylaw, which is any or all, but we're only taking out small portions. I think if you look, let me just tell you which page it is.
You're obviously getting rid of the bay window.
We're getting rid of the bay window. We're adding some windows. On this page, on page 206, you can see we're removing that porch on the end.
Yep.
Go down another page.
I'm trying to find the HDC.
There's a small area right around the,
Well, if it's on the HGC drawings and it's clear.
it's definitely on the HPC drawings. There's a small area right around the garage that's being removed.
Yeah, I see that. The one that has the, right next to the garage.
Right.
We're using that, borrowing that ground coverage to fill it other places.
Correct.
We can limit our decision. I mean, in our decision, we can say, right, as, you know, as noted in the HDC approved plans for the demolition.
Absolutely. We're locked into these plans.
Okay.
I think Lisa's concern is that we don't grant a special permit, and then if you go back to the HDC, right? Is that what your concern is?
I mean,
Lisa?
my only concern, because obviously we grant this relief all the time. People take down houses and rebuild them to the same ground coverage. So I don't really have a concern with the concept. I just wanted to be, I just got weirded out by the language, and I just think it should be, you know, obviously it's an old structure.
Yeah. I mean, the majority of the existing structure remains. It's just some selective demolition. You know, you can see between the garage and the house, we've shortened.
Well, that's because this roof line's coming over.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, they're making it longer, it was more the wording that I just was uncomfortable with. Okay. But if it's just,
we're happy to have it be tied to these plans.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's part of the western portion of the garage that's being removed.
Sarah, just to be clear, the net ground cover remains as is now.
Remains as is. It won't be any more.
And it's going to be separated into, a little bit goes to the pool cabana.
Correct.
Yeah, so the house
actually. So the house gets a little bit smaller.
Sarah, in your view, which special permit provisions would apply to this? I know there are two.
Well, I think 13933A4 for sure, because we're taking down portions of existing ground cover that's over what's permitted. That clearly applies. In addition, we are altering the pre-existing non-conforming structure under 13933A2.
Yeah.
But
we're also building a new structure, right? Which
is allowed under 13933A4 as long as the ground cover doesn't get any bigger than what's currently existing.
Okay. Then that makes sense. Then A4 is probably
Yeah, I think A4 is probably the right one. That was the main one I cited, but I threw in 13933A2 to the extent it was necessary.
I think we give this relief pretty regularly, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
A few months ago for Randy Sharp up on Pulpus Road, I think, something very similar. Shifted some things over to a pool cabana. I don't have any issue with it.
Sarah,
if you look at Bracken's proposed and existing conditions plan, he's marked pretty closely the areas that are to be removed. There's the covered porch. There's the area on the north east side of the garage that's coming out. And then just some small features on the west side of the dwelling.
Yeah, what page is that on? I think Holly's trying to, there it is. Those up, Holly?
Yeah, there it is. So if you close in to the existing conditions side, you can see covered porch to be removed. There's that little odd area next to it that's being removed, the outdoor shower, the steps, a little bit of that wall, that area.
There's a little bit back here that's being removed, it looks like, and a little bit here to the right of the outdoor shower. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're cutting the garage back a little bit.
Cutting the garage back.
Sarah, what you're also asking us to modify
Well, to the extent that you think you need to, this is subject to 2 existing special permits.
Yeah.
I don't. One of the pieces of relief was conditional upon the garage addition not being used as an additional dwelling unit. We're not doing that. This is going to be one dwelling unit. We're basically giving up the right to have a second dwelling, essentially. Not that we could fit it, but.
What's this? What's the second floor snack bar type kitchen?
Right, and we're not proposing anything different in the garage. If you look at our floor plans, it's mostly mudroom and
Okay.
laundry.
So if you're not changing that restriction, what would we modify?
Well, nothing. We're just not going to have, we're not having this game room anymore. I think you could leave that existing relief, quite honestly.
I mean, does anyone have be in their bonnet about those and want those to be modified? I didn't really see a need.
I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, I mean, so what was the existing garage that was on the premises, but that was insufficiently large to permit the use for garaging an automobile? Does that still exist?
That was then turned into what you see as the existing garage and connected to the main dwelling.
Okay, so that was part of the garage addition, incorporated that.
Correct.
Oh, great. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay. All right, so that's. So what is going to be above the garage then?
That is a good question. I think it's like, let me look at the.
I mean, if you're allowed to have this media and game room and a bathroom.
Yeah, it looks like that's basically becoming a bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, does anyone have any issues with it if they wanted to keep it, this media snack kitchen?
Is that what's on page 217? Just a storage?
Yeah, there's some storage up there.
Right plan here. I don't know.
217.
Yes, A-1.3.
Oh yeah, storage. Is that a basement?
No, that's above.
That's above.
The plan below.
Oh, right, second floor, sorry. Existing second floor plan.
Just a storage.
Yeah.
So I mean, either way, I mean, it could become a bedroom too. It's connected to the house as long as there's a legal stair up to it. And it's.
I don't think we need to modify those old permits.
I think it's storage because I bet the head height's just too low.
I think that's probably true.
Legal bedroom.
I think it said one of the permits did mention the eave height.
Yeah, and we're keeping that eave height.
Yeah.
Can I make a motion?
Sure.
I make a motion to approve the relief as requested.
I'll second.
Okay, I will do a roll call vote. Actually, sorry, is there anyone from the public who wanted to speak on this one or anyone else?
Madam Chair, there's no comments on YouTube.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I will just go down the list then. Myself, I, Lisa,
Aye.
Mark Poor,
Aye.
Jeff Thayer,
Aye.
and Jim Mondani.
Aye. Well, good. You got me.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So for other business, do we want to elect officers?
Absolutely, as long as none of them are me.
And just to clarify for the minutes, I know we discussed it and it seems like, but when Jeff, you made the motion for that last one?
Yeah. I
Sorry.
think-
Yes, I did.
And that was for 139-33.A4, right?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
I think it was. That's what,
I just want to make sure that's what we determined, but
I'm pretty sure that's
Okay.
what we determined.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
yes, okay. So to clarify.
Can we, should we table this until you have the full board, all members there?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I just that's fine with me.
I mean, the chairman's not going to change.
Really?
I hope not.
You're doing such a good job.
Agreed.
So what are our officers right now are myself and is Ed vice? Or are
I
you
think
vice?
that's vice, right? And I don't even know.
Lisa is vice.
I'm vice and Ed is the clerk.
Can I make a vote to just keep everything the same?
I'll second that.
Okay. Should we vote? Do we want to vote on that?
Sure.
You know- all right. So motion's been made and seconded. We don't have to do, I guess we do have to do a roll call. So Mark Poor,
Aye.
myself, I, Michael,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Kerim,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
and Lisa.
Aye.
Okay. All right, good. Done. So I guess someone can make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make
So
that motion.
moved.
Okay, so we'll give it to Kerim and Lisa can have the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank God.
Aye.
Aye.
Good to see everybody.
Okay,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
have a great month.